Hello, boys and girls. Well, Mr. Ash, why don't we tell all those nice people out there where the hell I've been? Well, mostly raising you, 'cause you've been just turning into the most rambunctious young man of all time. And as a result, it does kind of change one's priorities a bit. The rate of collection has definitely slowed down because, well, I have to prioritize a certain somebody's health and well being and all that stuff. But, I have gotten a few things that I wanted to show you. Sorry for the long delay. But, there are certain things that are more important in life than just collecting shit. Um, but I do want to show off a few things. Something that happened today was actually the Friday the 13th replacement discs. Those ones that everybody was talking about with the Scream Factory website and everything. Those discs finally came, which is really good because that took forever because of, the coronavirus continually delaying things. But this will be good because I'll be able to replace those discs that apparently had like minute errors, but the hardcore Friday the 13th fans will notice them. And ow, if you notice me go ow, it's because he's still in his rambunctious, scratchy, bitey phase where every exposed piece of daddy's flesh is just the best chew toy in the world. And then I went and I printed off a couple of custom covers, which I still need to cut, but the Lone Ranger there, Lady in the Water, John Carter. I like John Carter. Streetcar Named Desire. You would swear that was official. It looks so good. The Naked Gun 1, which I finally ordered that trilogy set, because the price point finally got low enough for me. I love the movies. Naked Gun 1, Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, and Naked Gun 33 and a Third, The Final Insult. And 1408 there. The Lady from Shanghai with Orson Welles and Rita Hayworth. Contact with Jodie Foster. Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Zodiac. Whatever this is, U571. And The Boy Next Door with J-Lo. But yeah, I still need to cut those, as you can see, but I'll do that after I'm finished recording. And I just wanted to show off a couple things, so let's try and do this in somewhat of a decent order. So like this, I'm doing it by retailer. So this actually came today, and it was Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. No slipcover, unfortunately, and I'm bummed about that, so I'll have to track it down separately. But I have been trying to get through and collect all of Kevin Smith's filmography, and this is his latest one, which I have not seen yet, but I am looking forward to it. I finally watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and from what I understand, this is basically the same movie but rebooted, and that's, of course, the whole joke. But I saw the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and I was like, it's not my favorite of his, but we'll see how this one goes. I know it's got a ton of cameos and stuff in it. So that one came from Amazon, and then like this one came from eBay from a Canadian seller, and it was this double feature of True Grit and The Searchers. And as you can see, it's most definitely Canadian because it's got the French and the English on there. And the disc for True Grit is in the machine right now in the Blu-ray player because I was watching it. And Searchers, of course, is a classic Western. But I've been trying to beef up my Westerns because I'm actually in the process of writing a Western, kind of a avant-garde Western, or maybe not avant-garde, but like slightly off the beaten track because that's the only way it's done. And this one here is a neat 2-pack here. It's kind of hard to find, and especially the Canadian edition of it, it's hard to find, so it seemed like a good bit of acquisition there. And not to be outdone, which this is kind of jumping the gun, but it's the True Grit, the Coen Brothers remake, which I have seen, and I remembered liking it, but I think I'd have a whole other level of appreciation for it seeing it now. Now that is jumping the gun because that's a different retailer because we're still not done with eBay, but How the West Was Won, the digibook, which, if you recall, I had that UK Western set, which had like 5 movies, and it had this one, and it had The Searchers. I sold that, and the reason why is because this one has the normal widescreen letterbox version, and it has that like 3-screen, big panoramic version. And the box set that I had before only had the normal widescreen edition, so this seemed like the most complete way to do it. But as I said, we were kind of jumping the gun there with True Grit there, because that came from Second and Charles. Second and Charles, they were having a buy 5 get 5 free sale, which they do from time to time, and I got some stuff from there. Now, this was not part of the sale. This was actually in the free bin. I don't know why I even picked it up. Well, actually, yes, I do. We got Eliza Dushku, Zoe Deschanel, other people. I've never seen this film. Probably will sell it if it sucks, which it probably does. I have no clue. But, got some future starlets there. But that was in the free bin. But then the ones that were not, that they were part of the buy 5, get 5 free deal, are as follows. Now, you already saw True Grit, so I don't have to do that one again. But alphabetically, we got Michael Mann's Heat with the slipcover. It's that director's definitive edition. But what's that? It's the custom cover that I printed off with the spot where the barcode would normally go. But I just popped it in there because why not? And got the bonus disc, got that disc, and we have the original cover there. So we got the best of both worlds. And what's really cool is that this normally goes for a lot more, but I got this for like $2, which is unreal, with the slipcover. So I was like, that's coming home with me. It's one of those things where Second and Charles, they will have a lot of really common things for kind of overinflated prices, and then just random things will just be ridiculously like dirt cheap, and I'm like, I'm grabbing that. And then this is a movie that seems pretty appropriate for today's day and age. It's called Joe, with Peter Boyle, directed by John G. Avildsen, who did Rocky, which is pretty cool. And this one, I've not watched this, but it got yet. But I wanted to get it because it got a best original screenplay nomination back in 1970, and it's about Joe Curran, the titular everyman and unabashed hippie hater Joe, who equates hippies with everything un-American, finds a kindred spirit in Bill Compton, an advertising executive who makes Joe's acquaintance at a neighborhood bar, boasting that he killed a drug-dealing hippie. Excuse me. Bill, pressed for facts by the intrigued Joe, recants, saying that he was merely joking, but when a news report confirms the incident, vigilante justice, akin to taxi drivers, is set in motion. And what's even better is that the tagline is "Keep America Beautiful," which sounds an awful lot like a certain other mantra that we can't stop hearing. And I'll just leave it at that. Next up is Lords of Salem, the most underrated Rob Zombie film with the lenticular slip, which is kind of hard to find now. And what's cool about this particular version of it, I didn't find out about this until later, but it actually comes with a CD sampler, in addition to the normal Blu-ray and DVD, and the digital code, which I already sold. But this has a bunch of tracks. It's got Lords of Salem, these are all Rob Zombie tracks, Lords of Salem, Dragula, We're an American Band, the cover of the song by Grand Funk Railroad, and it's got a track from the film by John Five and Griffin Boyce called The Lord's Theme. And I've never seen the sampler, because I used to have the Steelbook, but I actually kind of like this one with the lenticular slip a little bit more, and mine did not come with the CD sampler, so how about that? Next up, the Magnificent Seven, no slip cover. I'll have to track it down separately. This is the Antoine Fuqua, the remake, with Denzel and the cast of modern stars. but I will need to see I need to see Seven Samurai and then see the original Magnificent Seven series, because there's multiple, and then be able to watch that. Trying to get my westerns on, and I didn't already have Mean Girls in the collection, but I managed to find it for cheap. This was one of my free ones, because this is one that I've been meaning to watch it again, because it's been a long time, because it was one of those ones I was like, I can see why it has such a beloved audience, or an audience that loves it. I wasn't, necessarily in that grouping, but I acknowledged that it was a good movie, but I just need to watch it again, because it's been a long time. Now, this is another one that you're like, how in the hell is that so cheap? Especially given the exclusivity of it. But it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with the Best Buy exclusive lenticular slip, which is unbelievably rare, and I got it for dirt cheap. I want to say maybe $4, something like that. It should go for a lot more, but I managed to find it, and I'll be honest, I've never seen this movie. I know, hate me. And it's a little out of season, because I guess technically it's a Thanksgiving movie, but one of the few. But I'll just have to wait for next year. But anyway, then one of my favorite movies of the 2000s by one of my favorite recent writer-directors, Alexander Payne, with Sideways, one of his best films by far. I really love this film. It definitely deserved the nominations that it got, and I believe it might have gotten a screenplay win, if I recall. If not, it should have, but I absolutely love Sideways, and I felt bad that I didn't have it in the collection for such a long time. And then the Wachowskis' Speed Racer with that really hard to find slipcover. And not only that, but it came with a lot more goodies than I even necessarily knew. So like it's got these digital copies here with these are the old ones where you have to put in the physical disc, and I haven't redeemed these yet, and I don't really know how. Like, I'd like to sell them. It's just kind of difficult to do so because of the way that they're built. But what's interesting is that it comes with this, I guess, a DVD game called Crucible Challenge, which is interesting, and it has its own little instruction manual in it, and it's got the movie, it's got the DVD game, Speed Racer Crucible Challenge, and the digital copy disc and all that. But I was like, man, it comes with all kinds of weirdo stuff. Like, do you remember, like, when DVDs first came out, how, like, I remember the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, how they had, like, some interactive, like, menu games and stuff? They don't do that anymore because everything is all, streaming now, and they don't have any, originality or anything, but that's a cool slip. And the movie itself, it's definitely unique. It doesn't look like any other movie. It's green screened all to hell, but it also gives it kind of a unique look and feel. And you can definitely tell it's done by people that know and love anime, so that's more than I can say for other kinds of movies out there. And last but not least, an unexpected Target acquisition today. At Target, I was trying to look for a slipcover for Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. I went to, like, Best Buy, went to Walmart, went to Target. None of them had it. I assume because of the holidays, everybody's kind of, tapped out of merchandise. But I found the Kingsman 2 movie collection here. I found it for $15, both 4Ks. Found it for $15, and I had, like, a $5 gift card. I had my red card, so it knocked it down to like $7 something. And then these both came with the digital codes, and I'm going to sell those tonight, hopefully, and actually make something of a profit off of this, which is good because I did want to see these. I just didn't want to pay an exorbitant amount for them, and now I got them. So there you go. And I do have some more stuff coming in the mail, but just trying to wait for those things to arrive, and also just trying to balance all of that out with the costs that come along with raising a furry young man, which is obviously not nearly as much as it would take to raise a human child, but what are you going to do? It's the best I got. And so I've been trying to really reevaluate my life in general and reevaluate my priorities, what I spend my time on, my money on, all that stuff. And I'll still collect stuff, but it's just not gonna, for the moment anyway. It's not gonna be like in big, hauls, quite like what you're used to. And not saying, never, but I did have to sell some stuff in order to kind of make up for the costs that I had to incur to get him his healthy, well kitten program, and all this stuff that you kind of have to buy in order to not get even more money ripped out of your wallet by not having it. So it's kind of extortion, but at the same time, you kind of need to have it if you want to have a healthy little boy. um, but yeah, we'll see what kinds of stuff I collect and how frequently. I am going to be looking at other endeavors to hopefully bring you, the audience, into it. Like, I've been teasing No Money Film School for some time, but I have had other life things that have gotten in the way. Excuse me. Other life things that have gotten in the way, and I have had to deal with unforeseen events such as that one that you just witnessed. Um, but anyway, I do want to put my energy towards that, and I want to get that going probably next year. So stay tuned for that. If I can get that going, that'll be in its own channel, and I'll be able to link it down here. Probably be in podcast format if I had to guess. And we'll just see how that goes. But if you like this, then please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, set phasers to stun, warp factor 5. I'll see you in the next video. Expect more of Kevin Smith's filmography to show up in the mail, hopefully before too long. I do own all of his films, they just haven't all shown up physically at my door yet. I gotta cut these bad boys tonight, so that's what I'll be doing when I'm not getting my flesh bitten by a certain special somebody. But I will see you in the next video. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy whatever you celebrate. If I don't see you before the New Year, then Happy New Year. And hopefully we'll have some more cool stuff to talk about in the near future.